For this final major project, it's all about objectifying the perfect man. It started off with the base research of, looking into what is that perfect man. So it was looking at Da Vinci's Vitruvian Man, the Adonis complex, maybe even people who use body modifications to make themselves perfect. And from that research, it created this idea of the creation of my own perfect man. And so that I am celebrating specific body parts that I obviously like in a man. So this idea of perfection is, of course, subjective. People will go to great lengths to be perfect, and they'll either hide themselves away or use body modifications, like working out, which is creating this Adonis complex, or using plastic surgery and becoming a human Ken doll. Creating this male body type is similar to Frankenstein's story. Despite Victor's selecting its features as beautiful, upon animation the creature is instead hideous. While perfection is subjective, it can also be objectified. So looking at the male form objectively and appreciating the male form, and just celebrating the sexuality that is, of course, man. And in the end, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Those are the key areas of a male's anatomy that I like looking at or for, and I just want to celebrate that in the end. So these are the things that I find, of course, beautiful. So while working through the process of pattern development and creating toiles, it was really important to of course have the correct fit, because everything's so close to the body. There's very little darts. Everything is very clean in terms of silhouettes, and so it was a lot of trial and error making sure that the patterns were correct. So while finessing the patterns, fixing them 3, 4, 5 times, it led to this end game plan of actually making all of the garments after all the patterns were completed. In the end, this was a bit of a downfall just because of COVID-19, where I wasn't able to actually make any of the garments. So that is the reason why there are no actual physical garments. It's just all of the toiles. In this perfect man, through garments and having everything close to the body, it's a very nice mixture of a bit of sportswear and a bit of tailoring, to really have a nice broad range of garments within this collection. So I was able to use, a flat lock machine for a skin tight bodysuit, so that seams wouldn't be a hindrance when putting on the garment. And that was really exciting to use, new technology that's different than a standard sewing machine, and being able to use a stretch material over a woven material. For the overall fabrics being used in this collection, I'm a minimalist type of designer. I love clean lines. I love solid colors and color blocking. And while I wanted texture within this collection, I wanted to keep the color scheme very monochromatic, and just one solid color. So there is, of course, a lot of black being used in this collection. But of course, there are different shades of blacks, there are different textures of blacks. So it was really important to have a really wide range of blacks being used in terms of fabric, so that they're all very different textures from what you can see in your eyes and how they feel, and how they feel basically, so that as the garments are collated together and become this cohesive collection, each individual garment has its own small story that encompasses the whole concept of objectifying the perfect man.